So one of my biggest draft crushes this year feels a little more likely after this trade the 49ers just made last night. What's up, everybody? Welcome in Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen. Guys, when I hit record on this video, we were at 361 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. If you're new, please hit subscribe. My long-term goals, I'd love to do this full-time one day, and every subscription counts. Every subscriber counts, I should say. The goal is to hit 500 by the time we hit football season. Even if you just hit it and never really come back to the page, it helps me a ton. So thank you so much. Help me get there. I'm only, oh gosh, math is hard, 139 away from hitting 500. So thank you, guys. You could be the next one. You could be 362. That'd be amazing, 362. Last night, I think it was last night. Last night. What's today? Sunday. So last night, 49ers traded away Jordan Mason, which should not have been a surprise. And the outcry and the outrage would be non-existent right now if the 49ers had not offloaded a bunch of people already without signing anybody. I think that's the big key. It's not about how they've gotten rid of a bunch of people. It's the fact that they haven't really replaced them up to this point, which means they're counting on a lot of guys, young guys, unproven guys that are on the roster right now, plus the 11 draft picks that they have. But this Jordan Mason trade was not a surprise, guys. Given like they were going to pay him $5 million with the second round tender they placed on him, which means they're going to have to pay him $5.3 million this year. You just weren't going to do that for RB2. You weren't going to get a second rounder for him. No one was going to sign him at that, give up a second round pick. But they traded him away. And what did they get? It actually is not the worst trade in the world. You go from pick 187 in the 6th round and you move up to pick 160 in the 5th round. So you essentially have 2 5th-round picks. Yes, you have to give up 187 to the Vikings, but you have 2 5th-round picks now, which is pretty big considering the depth in this draft. Like, that's a good move. Considering the track record the 49ers have of picking in the 5th round, finding great value there, that's been their money round. You feel pretty good that they have 2 5th-round picks. And in 2026, they get a 6th-round pick. So considering he was an undrafted free agent, at the running back position, which is the most replaceable position in the NFL, it's not a shocker that he got traded. Now, I will tell you, I am not an Isaac Guerendo believer as a workhorse back. I don't think he looks comfortable running the football. He got better at the end of the season, but I would be hesitant to be like, he is my guy all season long. I would be hesitant, okay? I like Jordan Mason as a running back more than I like Isaac Guerendo because he gets those tough yards. Guerendo's great when there's some space. He can find a crease and he's got home run speed, which is incredible. He also catches the ball really well. But Jordan Mason makes he makes something out of nothing a lot of the time. He's physical. He has great vision. He's a bigger version of CMC in the sense, like, even if there's not really a hole there, he will find a way to pick up some tough yards. I really like him. But as I said at the beginning, running back is the most replaceable position, guys. And in a team that needs to get younger, the team that needs draft picks, like, and you need to hit on these draft picks, like, I love it. I love it. It's a kind of move, like, no one's losing sleep over your number 2 running back being traded. Think of it. I mean, you got Jordan Mason was undrafted. Matt Breida was undrafted. Elijah Mitchell was a 6th-round pick. Like, Raheem Mostert was like a non-existent special teams player, and like in Shanahan's system, he just thrived. Tevin Coleman was like past his prime, but he came and played for Shanahan and just did really well. So the point is, you can get a draft pick, move up 27 spots. You move up a whole round because you offload a running back when you feel good about Guerendo, and you can draft or find another undrafted guy. Plus, you have CMC. I know there's big question marks, like he might not stay healthy, but I'm just saying it makes sense. And if you are losing sleep over losing Jordan Mason, I just don't think you fully understand the running back position in the NFL. There's a reason they're so devalued because there's so many of them. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. There's such a huge supply, and there's only really 32 starting spots. Like, you can find them. I'm just saying, it's not the end of the world. I promise you, you're not the season comes, even if CMC gets hurt, like, you're not gonna be losing sleep because Jordan Mason's not there. But this leads me to one of my biggest draft crushes this year, okay? I love Cam Skattebo. Like, Cam Skattebo is, for the most part, everything you really want in a running back, outside of home run speed. He doesn't have home run speed. Now, he hit a lot of home runs at Arizona State, okay, this past year, senior year. So if you don't know Cam Skattebo's background, his story, if you're pretty new to this, okay, he was at Sac State, okay, FCS school, dominating, killing people, okay, and transfers to Arizona State. He has 2 years at Arizona State. Well, this past year, okay, was obviously his really big breakout year. Okay, Skattebo, 1,700 yards, okay, 21 touchdowns. Behind Ashton Jeanty, most broken tackles and most yards he's behind Ashton Jeanty, so he's second in broken tackles, second in yards after contact, I believe. Okay, the dude is just kind of a freight train, really tough to bring down. He is like a kind of a Frank Gore type of running back. A lot of you watching the channel, like, you know what I mean? Frank Gore was never the home run speed. I bet Frank Gore is probably faster than Skattebo, but he just had such good contact balance and good vision. He just was hard to bring down. Frank Gore was going 5 to 10 yards on like the majority of his runs, it felt like, because he just bounces off of guys. And that is exactly what Skattebo is, okay? And if you, as a football fan, I'm assuming most of you watched the college football playoff and you saw Arizona State play Texas, okay? And Texas had control of that game most of the game. I'm like a Texas fan, so it was a frustrating game because they weren't able to put him away. It felt like multiple times they had a chance to put him away and they didn't. They let him hang around. And you know what happened? Cam Skattebo put them on his back. And literally they were a 4th and goal or 4th and 13, whatever that was in overtime, away from beating Texas because of him. Had a huge receiving touchdown, huge rushing touchdown. He threw for a touchdown. Like, the dude is a gamer, okay? Now, I was talking with some fans on X this week because I'm trying to figure out what is his 40 time, because I've seen some different things. He didn't run at the combine. Smart. I'm wondering if he'll run at his pro day, because what's going to hold him back and make him drop even more is his 40 time. I've seen some people say it's like high 4.5s, low 4.6s. It's not ideal. The slowest you want to be as a running back is you have to be in that 4.5 range, low 4.5s. My guess is he weighed into the combine, did all that. He'll go to his pro day. He probably won't weigh in. He'll probably get his measurements, but he won't weigh in because he's going to be way lighter than he was at the combine. And he's going to run a 40, and he's just hoping, can I get to 4.55 or lower? That's probably what he's hoping for. But he's an absolute dog. And he is, so I was talking with some fans, some Arizona State fans, trying to figure out what his 40 time was. And we were just talking, and I was like, Cam Skattebo is he seems super rough around the edges. He seems like he can be a huge a-hole to a lot of people, to hopefully not his teammates, but what I'm saying is it shows up on the field in a good way. There's nobody you can put in front of Cam Skattebo and he doesn't believe he's just going to run that dude over and go score a touchdown. That's his mindset, and you can see it when he's running. And not to toot my own horn a little bit, guys, maybe I'm a little partial, okay? I know some of you are looking at me right now I played football in high school, played a little in college, but I was a much better high school player than I was in college, and I was a running back. And you're looking at me right now, and you're way too big to be a running back. I was not as good as Cam Skattebo, obviously, but he and I are that's the kind of running back I was, because I didn't have huge speed, but I was hard to bring down. And so when I watch Cam Skattebo, I'm like, man, that's exactly what I felt like running the ball. Because when you watch him run, he looks like he believes he can score every time he touches the ball. And he is the kind of guy that is we are down in this college football playoff game and my team needs a spark. I'm going to put them on my back. I'm going to put them on my back, coach. He's the kind of guy that would go to his coach and say, give me the rock because I'm going to take care of this. I promise you I'll fix this. Give me the freaking football. Those are the kind of guys you want on your team. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think Cam Skattebo is going to come in and be a top 5 running back in the NFL. Again, because his speed is probably slower. He's probably not fast enough, but hopefully I'm wrong. But think of what he does for the locker room. What he does by being tough, by having that attitude that no one can stop me, that stuff is infectious. If you've never played football before, in the locker room, when you have dudes that are fearless, that are not scared of anybody, it does something to the locker room. It elevates the locker room. And guys will take on that personality and that persona, and they'll gravitate towards guys like that. Those are the guys you want to go to war with. I played football at Southern Virginia University. It's a very small school. We were not that great at football, if I'm being honest. We ran the triple option. And I played a little fullback, played a little wingback. But our quarterback okay, our quarterback. So if you know anything about the triple option, which you guys do, I'm sure, your quarterback is essentially a running back. Our quarterback was Ty Jones. Ty, if you're watching this, shout out, buddy. Ty Jones was 5'8", 5'9", 170 pounds maybe. Like, I don't know, Ty, let me know if I'm wrong. Ty Jones was one of the pound for pound toughest athletes I've ever met in my life. Dude would take a beating. He would break tackles. He would take a beating. But Ty's like tenacity, Ty's fearlessness, like I'm just saying, like when I watched him and I'd watch him on game day, I watch him in practice, like it fired me up. Like it elevated my play because I wanted to sell out and be like Ty. Okay. And that is what my point is that is exactly what Skattebo would do for a locker room. He is going to bring that attitude and that toughness, which this team needs to get back because they got bent over and pistol whipped a few times last year. The toughness was gone, and they need to bring that back. Now, Skattebo's probably third round pick. That'll change for better or for worse, depending on if he runs his 40 and how well he runs his 40. He's probably third round pick. Niners have a couple third round picks. If I'm being honest, I don't think Kyle Shanahan's he's not gonna take Cam Skattebo, if I had to guess. And the reason for that is Skattebo is like very different than the prototypical running back that Kyle Shanahan likes, and that is speed, like a one-cut speed guy. And you know, maybe I'm wrong because Jordan Mason isn't like an overly fast guy. Jordan Mason is a physical back, power back. So maybe he's just like, look, I love this guy. I know he can make it work in the NFL and in my system. But I feel like he's going to gravitate towards someone else in this class. Matt Barrows tweeted out. So last year, Matt Barrows said in March before the draft, he said he highlighted Isaac Guerendo, talking about how he's a natural receiver, how he has breakaway speed 4.32, how he is a one-cut, hit-the-hole kind of go kind of guy. And he said, if Kyle Shanahan is going to take a running back in the third round, book it, it's going to be Isaac Guerendo this year. And what happened? So fast forward to, I was just kind of scrolling Twitter after the Jordan Mason trade, and X, I should say, and someone asked Barrows and said, does this mean Cam Skattebo in the third round? And Matt Barrows' response was, oh gosh, Bashal Tutin, book it, is something what he said. Bashal Tutin, if I'm saying it wrong, sorry guys. He's the Virginia Tech running back. If you've seen him play, he's 4.32 speed. I think he catches the ball well. But out of Virginia Tech, he ran for like 1,100 yards and something this year. I was looking it up before. He was over 1,000 this year, had a really nice season. I don't think I hope they don't take Bashal in the third round because I think you can get him later. I think you can get him on a day 3 pick. And that's the kind of guy he's going to gravitate towards, Kyle Shanahan will. But I'm hoping it's Skattebo. For all the reasons I said. He brings the toughness to the team. He would be a fantastic 1-2 punch with CMC this year. Plus, you would have Isaac Guerendo, who's a speed guy also. Like, you need some tough yards, you're putting Skattebo in there. You had troubles in the red zone last year. A big part of that is because CMC was out. But think of like, okay, we've had troubles running the ball inside the 10. Like, let me put in this dude who doesn't give an F about nothing and made his living off of just being impossible to tackle. That's Skattebo. I think he would fit really well with the team. Those aren't the kind of running backs that Kyle Shanahan gravitates towards. But he is one of my biggest draft crushes, and I hope so bad. And lastly, to top it off, I'll let you guys go. He is a 49er fan. There's like pictures you guys have seen, the video, pictures of him rolling up to games for ASU last year in a Christian McCaffrey jersey, pictures of his dad wearing 49er stuff, and like him as a kid growing up, I guess, wearing 49er stuff. Like, he is a 49er fan. Like, I think it would do a lot for the locker room, would set the tone, brings the level of toughness on offense that Kyle Shanahan wants to get back to. I hope so bad. I would gladly use a third round pick on Cam Skattebo. I'm just saying. As long as we use, we address the trenches in the first 3 picks, and then that second, third round pick, you're going to use on Skattebo. I'm here for it. But anyway, that's what I got. I have a handful of draft crushes. Skattebo's the first. I'm going to go through this week. I'll put out a couple more videos this week talking about a few other guys. Not necessarily that I think the Niners will take, but guys that I would take if I was in John Lynch's position. If you're still here, thank you so much. Please hit subscribe. Please like the video. Please comment. Tell me if you like the Skattebo pick in the third round. or if you would lean somewhere else. Let me know what you think about the Jordan Mason trade, if that's good or bad or whatever. But please hit subscribe, like the video, help me out. It's going to get better, guys. I feel like the tide's shifting, okay? Re-sign Kyle Juszczyk, the tide's shifting. We're going to start feeling some momentum, some positive momentum for the 49ers this offseason, and I think it'll be really high come the draft. And I think they're going to crush the draft. Like, I'm just a forever optimist, maybe to my downfall, but that's what I got for you. No paper, but go Niners.